Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4, and today we're looking at Verdant. Now this looks like a beautiful plant card game, but Lipstickpaddy brings on his expert knowledge of his mother and his own hobbyist knowledge to see if this game is really for those people that love houseplants. So Lipstickpaddy, please take it away. Now peeps, Verdant on Kickstarter, a puzzly special board game of houseplant collection and care with gorgeous artwork by Beth Sobel, it claims. Right, first of all, if you didn't know, houseplants is one of my hobbies because my mother is an expert in houseplants, and when I go back to Ireland, I love walking in the house of greenery everywhere. It's fabulous, just like this picture on the front cover. And I actually swang this Kickstarter to my mum, the expert, to see would she like this game as a gift. Because, you know, you might be buying this for someone in your family who is an houseplant expert. So I'll let you know what that story is as we go down. But I can tell you straight out the bat here, there is a problem with the art, really. Ugh. And I guess if you're casually just coming down this page, you might not see it as a problem, right? Because if it's an animal or a bird, they are actually like scientifically accurate, right? They have to have an accuracy because we know what they look like. But when it comes to plants, most people don't know what they look like. And unless you've been living with these plants in your house, you won't probably know that there is an inaccuracy going on here. Now, on the box here, I just want to show you that to the right of the blue chair is a big palm plant here with big leaves. They've got that picture in some of these plant pictures, but very small. And it doesn't scale like that. This is what I mean. It's the scale of the plants that looks odd. If you don't care about the plants looking inaccurate, then you'll be okay. But I just want to make sure that the Beth Sobel, as the artist, her research was a little bit sloppy, meaning the opposite of accuracy. If you don't know what sloppy means, just the opposite of accurate. Whew, okay. Now, Flat Out Games, they've got a really trendy designers here that have got some fantastic games in the repertoire. You can see from the team that brought you Calico and Cascadia. Those games are kind of in the hotness now with the retail space, both popping from Kickstarter, of course. Radho says Verdant is absolutely phenomenal, just an amazing product. It has no surprise at all that Jen and I are absolutely head over heels in love with this game. Again, if you ignore the art, you're going to love the gameplay. Plays quick, under an hour. It says 30 to 45 minutes. Now you're taking on the role of a houseplant enthusiast, which is what I am. My mother is an expert. She cultivates these, she puts them around, she gives them as gifts in the village, etc. Create the coziest space by collecting and arranging houseplants and other objects within your home. This is exactly what my mum is. In this multi-layered spatial puzzle, you must position your plants so that they receive the most suitable light conditions and take care of them using various nurture actions to create the most verdant collection. Most of the plants inside your house hate sunlight. Hate sunlight. It's a point of fact. It really is. So yeah, it's exactly the theme. I thought Mum would like this, but I wanted her to show her this because she does play games herself, and I wondered if for her the art would stick out as a sore thumb, not a green thumb for her. Alright, let's go down. Now there's 50 unique plants in the game. There's absolutely an incredible boatload of plants, and it almost looks like this game is designing itself to give you plants from a certain region, so that there could be an expansion for plants in a different region. Maybe. So yeah, this has probably got legs, room to grow into an expansion for other things, right? Now, the first thing my mum said is, why have they all got the same pot? All these plants got the same pot, because it looks like it's from a shop. Like you go into a greenhouse shop, they're all in the same plant pot. Exactly. And the other thing I don't like, if you're subscribers to my channel, you know my videos, one of my bugbears is the art in the background to be generic. And all these plants that you're looking at here have no scale of how big this plant pot is, or the plant is. Absolutely no scale. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that. Anyway, we're going to see more of the art as we go down. Now, it has got 5 designers on it, and, you know, it seems like a lot of designers. I know that, look, Point Salad, Donut to Donuts, Calico, Overbot. I mean, they're all, everyone who's playing it is liking the game, but it's like too many chefs spoil the broth, too many designers. Okay. I think plant fans will like this game for much the same reason that bird fans enjoy Wingspan. Absolutely have to disagree with that for myself, and my mother highly disagrees with that due to the sloppiness of the card art. Oh. Again, if you don't care about accuracy in these pictures. Because we're looking at botany here, and botany, they have loads of biological books that actually have these pictures of these plants drawn. So that's kind of what the art's going for here. But they're not actually showing you these plants as in the best light. That's what they're not doing. Table present looks okay, doesn't it? You've got a centre section with the plants. You've got, each person's got their own little grid going on. And you've got the rooms which are the cards with the different lighting positions and this stuff. Right, so here we go. Middle at the top, Birds of Paradise. An absolute massive plant. Absolutely difficult to actually get the Birds of Paradise. And if that's a plant, it would be outside with 3 Birds of Paradise. And it would be probably 2 meters tall if it had 3 of them like that. 2 meters tall. And look at it, just they all look like they're the same size. No scale whatsoever. Venus flytrap, look at that, it looks massive. It's an absolute tiny plant, the Venus flytrap. You're only going to see them that big if you're in the bloody Amazon rainforest. Look at this ear, elephant ear here. Absolute massive leaves on it. It only ever gets that big when it's in a huge pot and it's about 2 to 3 meters tall. Here's the thing. The elephant's ear, when it's a small plant, is an absolute beautiful house plant. It's so incredible. And you know what the curse of the elephant's ear plant is? When it gets too big. You've constantly got to cut this back. And look at this. My mother, when she saw this, she said, that is disgusting. It was actually sore for her to look at this picture of the elephant ear. She was like, oh, oh my God. I would be here all night talking about these plants' sloppiness. I'm going to mention a few as we go down. And definitely the pots are looking the same. It's like crazy. It's like crazy. The spider plant, right? It's a plant that most people hang on a wall. The reason it's called a spider plant is because the actual greenery that you're seeing here is just the main plant, but it's called a spider plant because it offshoots and hangs down the plant. It's a hanging plant. And this plant you're looking at doesn't have any spider branches. It's like extremely young. It's like if this was a picture here, it's 10 centimeters high. It's super small. Doesn't even show you the beauty of the spider plant. This cactus plant, it would never be in a pot like that. It would be in a giant bloody pot that's vertically high because it needs rocks in the bottom of the plant, else it'll tip over. Absolutely crazy stuff going on here with these pictures. Oh, the ZZ plant here, which is a beautiful plant. And here, it's a... If I got my mum on the stream, she would be going bonkers. The snake plant here, which is actually a Sansalivia plant, or a mother-in-law's tongue plant, is very, very high. Sometimes they're called swords, but they're very high. This looks again like a little baby that you may get in a garden centre. It doesn't look like that would be in your house at all. The Starlet Scar, again, this is absolutely massive here. And funnily enough, the beautiful red flower that comes up, that actually rises up like a star. It's not within the greenery, it comes up like a big neck. So, more suspicion here. The aloe vera, I don't know why they didn't, it's like they're showing you species of plants, but showing you the ugliest side of them. Right? In Ireland, my plant that my mother has now inherited from me as I left Ireland to come to Mexico. It's a rare species of aloe vera, and it has a beautiful orange flower coming out of the top of it. It's so stunning, and its dark green leaves have tiger stripes on it. It's the most incredible aloe vera. And what have you got here? Just some plain Jane aloe. You get my point here. My mother could spot maybe 40 of these 50 that she just thought was ridiculous. She thought some of these plants, no one would even have them in their house, like the Swiss cheese plant, which is just ugly in person. The corpse flower, my mother said nobody would have that in their house. It looks like a giant mushroom, fungi, just And yes, the prayer plant here, which is often called Joseph's coat, as in multicolored coat. This is also comes up and climbs up. This one looks sick. And my mum even said this, and I'm like, it does look sick because it should be reaching up. It kind of wants to do this. It becomes a high plant, and interestingly, this plant, that when it needs water, the leaves ring up like a flotas or a fried taco. And it's very intelligent and an easy plant to care for. But this one, again, looks like it's just coming from the water centre. And the plant here on the left, the Chinibi plant, that's an outdoor plant. And you can see it needs like 9 light. Unless you've got a greenhouse in your house, that is an outdoor plant. It shouldn't even been in here. And it just looks like there isn't any knowledge here of outdoor plants. Oh yeah, the peace lily in the middle is an absolute beauty. Beautiful leaves, and here it just looks like an abomination of what it actually looked like. It's all pretty offensive stuff. For my mother, for me, it's here and there, but I do see the accuracy is not there. The plants are all looking like they're coming from a plant shop and not in anybody's house, and they're not to scale. They could have been in beautiful environments, showing off their scale, even different angles of the art. I mean, there is plant art pornography out there of these plants looking so good. And all we've got here is trying to copy what they look like in a botanist's book, and without actually having knowledge of what they look like in someone's house. So just want to make you aware that if you buy this for someone who loves houseplants, you might go with a bit of caution going forward. All right then. Now, there's something I just want to mention about this Kickstarter. It's got an epic long campaign. It's been on Kickstarter maybe 10 days, I want to say, and it's already got 5,000 backers, and it's got a bunch load of, you know, especially considering it's only $29. I mean, you're looking at a retail game here. So now that I've got my high criticism over of the art, and hey, Beth, you know, if you didn't know this, you know, we can see the elephant's ear in this picture. It's very, very big, and all that stuff, and you can see plants here that are very, very small, and in all these pictures they all look like they're the same scale. It's like on what's this guy saying the game is like? Wingspan? Well, in Wingspan you've got like giant birds and small birds, but everybody knows that probably, so the art had to be accurate. But here it seems not to be a thing that was a focus, a pillar of the design. It was overlooked, massively overlooked. Now, for the price point, it's coming in at the retail end. So we're getting just these cardboard tokens. It's interesting they've got this trowel tool here. You would never use that indoor. That is kind of transplanting a plant into a bigger pot. You might use that. The watering can is like, it looks like it's going to hold 10 litres of water. It's for the garden, isn't it? Usually the houseplant has a horizontal arm on it, not an up arm. This is like you're watering something that's very low on the floor, this design of watering pot. I mean, there's just sloppiness all over the art. And it's got this big bag of fertilizer, and you're normally using liquid fertilizers and things like this. I mean, it's just... Green thumb tokens. Could have actually done a green thumb, but no. Deluxe wooden tokens. Plant pot tokens. Some little plant pot designs here. They're still all super ugly. Does come with a score pad though. That's nice because you're going to be scoring, and it would make it easier when you finish the game to add it all up. That's something really nice. Promo cards coming as well, and it's funny, they've got an orchid in here, and the orchid is supposed to be the most beautiful flowers to get. That card ain't showing me that! It's definitely not the most beautiful card out of them all, is it? When it really should be. That is like, I don't know. They should be like the Hollywood super ladies. Marilyn Monroe, the orchids, and what's the other lady called? Hepburn, that lady. Classic looking orchids. They should be absolutely beautiful. And you'll notice that some of these as well are in different pots and stuff. And in fact, the chia sculpture here in the hedgehog pot, that's probably the cutest pot that they've got out of them all, and it looks like that is something that would be in someone's house, maybe in the as you come in the house. Something like that. It's kind of cute. Put it in a corridor or something like that. The hedgehog. It's nice, that one. And that's what I mean. You could have had so much character. Still though, that is another small plant, and you need to see these in situ really to get the scale. And here it's like a sloppy but botanist book. Now, these are more unique plant cards, and some of these cards we'll see here. Match 3. For each room with 3 or more plant type matches. Yeah, you are going to be putting certain species together in the same area. They kind of... they become happy when they're in their own little species, pocket of species. Like if you put 2 plant pots together and they don't like each other, it will affect their growth absolutely, there is a synchronous to the positions you're putting your plants around. Anyway, you're getting these free cards on the Kickstarter. That's kind of its Kickstarter point. Birds of Paradise. Pollinated exclusively by sunbirds. When the bird lands on the edge of the... You mean a bird's coming in your house? This is an outdoor plant. Dun, dun. Know your houseplants number 2. This is not a houseplant. That's what I know. You'll not get this in your house. It would be massive if it was in your house. You'd have to have massive rooms, 3 meter high, loads of sun coming in. So the game looks fun. The art is a turn off for anyone who likes houseplants. If you don't care one way or another, don't worry yourself. Just try and ignore all my criticism of the art. Okay. There's more I could go on here, but I think I've massacred it enough to actually turn some people off. The aloe vera, an ancient and well-known medical plant used in a variety of skincare cosmetic products. Its gel is often applied to the skin to treat minor burns. What it should actually say is, if you've got a burn, you can actually cut off a leaf. Use the direct gel from the inside of the plant to treat yourself. You just cut it from the plant. It's one of the reasons people put aloes in kitchens. If you cut yourself, you can cut the aloe plant and put the gel over the cut, and it will actually seal it for you. It's kind of barbaric 18th century medicine, but it's not just burns, it's little cuts and things like this. Alright, so if you want gameplay, check out the videos. It is getting loved out there. Rado and his wife did love it. That gives a seal of approval for gameplay reasons, but if you're buying it for someone who likes houseplants, or you actually care that the drawings are accurate, then there it is. Because if you know these houseplants, it's like playing Wingspan, and it shows you a bird with a wrong beak. Like, you look at this bird and it's got a beak of a parrot when it should have a small beak. It would stick out like a sore thumb to you, right? Just because you know that, say, a robin doesn't have a big beak like a parrot. It like sticks out to you, that art, if it was wrong. And for anybody who loves having houseplants in their house, is an enthusiast or an expert on houseplants, they're going to look at this and they're going to see loads of problems in the art. That's all I'm saying. Okay. We won't be looking at these. They've got fantastic retail games out there. Some of them have been kickstarted, like Overboss here. We covered that on the channel. 10 extremely popular there. And Cascadia, extremely popular, and Calico too. The others not as big hits as those, and a Point Salad from a couple of years ago. Now, I don't know why they're showing a playthrough of Calico. That's like odd they're showing this. And Cascadia, why is that here? Is there a shop down below to add the big hits to the pledge? They just plastered it with videos of people that don't understand the hobby of indoor plants. Project funded. Make the box thicker. Make it more sturdy. Okay, that's an odd stretch goal. Linen finish. Okay, thicker cards. Spot UV on the box. Should do spot UV on some of the cards. Some of the pots could have been shiny and more sexy than these terracotta pots that you see in garden centres. Linen finish on the cards. Thicker tokens and Thicker, it's all thicker. Thicker is the name of the stretch goals. Are you interested in Calico or Cascadia? Get the Kickstarter edition of these games in our post-campaign pledge manager. So that's why they've got videos up above on that. And shipping prices, not too bad. It's a little bit subsidized. They're paying a bit of it for you, which is nice. And it's a fairly small box game anyway. If you're living in the rest of the world, just wait till retail. I don't think the special edition cards are really going to change the game that much, especially alright, we're at the end, peeps. Let's jump up to the top. You know my thoughts on it. I've put it to a plant expert, my mum, who likes to collect plants and put them in her house. She hated this. The art just was like, ugh. For me, it's the fact the plants aren't in situ on the cards. I just think it's sloppy. They need to look like they're inside a room so you can see the scale, and they all need to have a pot that actually is designed to house that plant. Having these plants in all these same size pots is absolutely ridiculous. Some of them need to be tall pots, some need to be very shallow. To have them this size is just... It is that. Gameplay-wise, though, solid. Art, terrible. Due to its accuracy. We'll go that far. Okay. So, 5,000 backers obviously don't care about the art being accurate. And it might go further up with 37 days to go on Kickstarter at such a nice, cheap retail price and all that good stuff. So do we recommend the game? No, we do not. Sloppy art all across and doing nothing to actually celebrate the beauty of houseplants. Nothing, because a lot of these pictures are showing you the ugly side of the plants when they're either too young, they are either too big and ugly and not showing them in their best light, and not showing the beautiful things off like the orchids and stuff like that. So, sorry peeps, that's just our view here at the channel. If you want more positivity, go and look at the playthrough videos from Radho and his wife. They'll probably get you on to getting you the buzz, the hype behind this game. But for us, we can completely ignore it. We just wanted to bring this to your attention because it's close to one of my hobbies, and it's close to, reading who would love this game. It's like my mum would love this game, and she just clearly didn't. So yes, there you go. Verdant on Kickstarter. A very long campaign, got massive amount of backers on it from Flat Out Games and all that good stuff. Well, thank you so much for listening. Please give the video a thumbs up if you like the content, and if you like Kickstarter games, please think about subscribing. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. You've been listening to Kickstarter Radio 102.4. You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now.